And we are live. Hello, everyone. This is Ninja DC joining again for another podcast. This time discussing 2022 in reflection and 2023 in, forward view. I guess whatever you call that. Joining me again is Jenn.
I may be first. I may be last. I may be just going on headlong into a new year. But I am first and always and forever, Jenn. Happy New Year, everybody.
All right. And then next up, Carlos.
Hey, everyone! It's Gunmetal Gator here. Just telling you all to look out for the new year. Make sure you get those New Year's resolutions out and coming true, or else you're just basically disappointing yourself to another life in this infinity too. That is the concept of existence.
All right. I guess next up, who wants? Does anyone want to talk about what they've been up to?
I'll start.
Mhm.
I've been up to actually one cool thing is I got a brand new mic for Christmas. So I also in a pop filter. So I have a brand new mic in my little voiceover booth. And so I'll hopefully be starting to do more better quality auditions, and who knows, maybe I'll finally get another role or so, or maybe just another long list of auditions to add to the list. And other than that, I'll also recording for final episode of Case 2 of Elements of Justice. Check it out on YouTube if you hadn't. It's amazing.
All right. Carlos, you want to go up next?
Yeah. I guess for me right now, I mean, I'm doing a little bit of a Vanguard Zero tournaments right now, in which it feels like it might be ending the app game for 2 years, since not everyone's basically feeling like they really want to jump ship, especially now that Deer Days is out, and feels a lot more better in the long run if you just invest the whole $70 for it, in comparison to this phone app game that just feels less like Vanguard and more like, oh God, it just drains away your time. And if you spend money on it, it's just takes and takes and takes and doesn't give back and back and back. Meanwhile, for me, I never spent any money on the thing, so it's basically a sunk cost fallacy for me right now. I did not spend anything on it. I spent time on it since the whole incident occurred. I'm good in playing this game out to the end. I guess as well, I ended up watching a movie, at the end of the year that has been getting a lot of traction, and I just basically saw it for myself, since my own sister was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna bring my girls over to see this movie," and didn't hear anything about it from them, so I just saw the movie for myself, and it's like, okay, one, my Spanish heritage just feels highly accredited now, super, super highly, that a movie like this has even gotten this much hype. And two, I never thought I would feel so much sympathy for an antagonistic character like this. Wow, didn't think I would be the sympathetic for a guy who isn't the main character for this movie, but here I am now about this. So yeah, if you don't get the hints, lately I watched The Last Wish. God, too much. It's so many people were showing so many pictures of this wolf character, and it's like, what the heck? What the heck? Why is this wolf character so highly anticipated? I mean, the trailer makes him look great, possibly even better than Mr. Wolf. But how good is he? Oh my God, he's literally the best thing since sliced bread. God dang it. Generic interest, generic love interest. God dang it, why is he too good? He's so good.
Yeah, Ninja showed me the picture of what he looks like, and I was like, ah, this is gonna be in my nightmares.
Oh, very appropriate for it to be in your nightmares.
It's very appropriate. It's almost too appropriate. Too appropriate. It's perfect.
God, seriously, possible top villain of all of DreamWorks. That's just how scary this guy is in general.
Has anybody seen the myth, the meme that says everybody think they gangster until the big bad wolf whistles?
Yeah. Once this is sort of getting what I've been into. I seen the movie too at Christmas as my Christmas movie.
Right.
Yeah, this film is shockingly good, and I highly recommend anyone if you can go and see it.
Yeah.
I'm mostly being broad because I want everyone to experience it as it is without spoilers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that wolf character is just a treat. Like a lot of the characters are a treat, but yeah, he really is when he whistles, he basically has gotten to where with a whistle alone, he induces panic attacks of Puss in Boots.
Yeah.
I mean, not slightly no, straight up freaking debilitating panic attacks. He is just such a great character.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, his motivations, you know what, I can't necessarily. I was you know what, I end up agreeing with his motives.
Yes, very much so, very much so. I appreciate him taking down Puss in Boots a peg for his egotism. I mean, I see that in myself a lot, actually. I don't like egotistical guys.
But yeah, again, it's a fantastic film. You should all see it. I think, isn't it going on to direct video rental stuff right now, or because I know some people said
it's currently doing that. It's currently doing that right now. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've heard some recent reviews where people said oh, now I can stream and I'm doing it.
Direct a stream or so.
Yeah.
Oh God. I'm just right now just watching reactions to people on YouTube right now of this movie after watching it. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't stop rewatching it. It's just dangerous. Spider-Verse didn't get me this much. I'm telling you.
It's that good. Huh?
No,
I would say
I feel like it's even better in my opinion from my perspective. I mean, not to discredit Spider-Verse because Spider-Verse is a marvel of a movie.
Considering it's from Marvel.
but I have to sort of agree, and I wouldn't say it's better than Spider-Verse, but it's there needs to be debate. It's they're both in the same level, and Spider-Verse is my favorite. I don't know to compare it to the more recent Spider-Man film, but it's one of my favorite Spider-Man films of all time, and
No Way
this
Home.
is yeah, and this one this Puss in Boots is on par with that. It really is a fantastic film.
I feel like I need to see all the Puss in Boots movies first before I see that.
Wait, no. You don't need to.
Yeah.
Trust me. I've seen the first Puss in Boots. You don't even need to watch it for the context of it. That's just how amazing the sequel is. You don't even need to watch it to understand, to fully enwrap yourself in the characters, even if they come from the first movie. That is how well written this movie is.
So you don't have to watch the first one in order.
No.
Oh, wow.
No. The main thing you have to understand about the first is they sort of introduce a character that's coming back in this one, but that's pretty much it. And it's the character is already basically re-explained in a way that you don't really need to know what happened in the previous film.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
So I can just go right into it.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Perfect. If there's time after this podcast, DreamWorks did what they occasionally do, is which they put the first 10 minutes on YouTube.
Okay.
And I'll probably just watch it all with you and just sort of get your live thoughts. But we'll see how time plays out. But yeah.
Yeah. Let's try to go over this quickly because I really want to see Jenn. I really want to see your reaction, Jenn.
Okay. All right. Sure.
Oh my God! I am giddy as a schoolgirl over this. All right, so like let's get down with the business. Okay.
All right.
Aside from that, returning sequels from like previous seasons for anime that I've watched. Let's see. Misfit of Demon Academy, season 2, aka Ainos Voldigold comes back, even though he's under a new voice actor in the Japanese. But his VA currently is the guy who does Goblin Slayer. So we're still in good hands. We're still in good hands since it's Goblin Slayer. Like it's already looking to be a pretty great season with the whole premise of like try to find a child of God before he tries to dethrone you, Ainos Gold, and like erase your rule, because like basically like that's what's going on right now after he stopped the whole human subjugation, trying to subjugate demons and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Ainos Voldigold is literally like the One Punch Man of fantasy stories.
God,
That is how great he is.
Gosh, I need to watch One Punch Man.
Well, and also One Punch Man season 3 was announced by Studio Mappa.
Woo!
Yeah, so that's kind of like the thing of like everyone on the internet collectively went, "Oh my god, those Mappa animators are never going home, are they? Oh my god."
Oh
Oh
dear.
my god! Oh my
should
god!
Oh
They
dear.
say
I
your
should-
last will and
should-
testament. Say your last will and testament, people. Tell your loved ones anything. You guys are already overworked to death for anything right now. You're already dealing with the last season of Attack on Titan and all this other stuff.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I shouldn't have wooed. My bad.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Everyone is concerned for that because it's like that studio's just gonna be overworked to death. They already just finished with Chainsaw Man. You can't really go back from that,
Oh, I need to see Chainsaw Man too. I need to see that.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. If you're a
I've already
movie
got a
buff,
laundry list. I've already got a laundry list like 3 miles long. 3 miles long. Just make it longer. Why don't you?
let's see. We still have Blue Lock from last season continuing on with like its incredibly hype soccer play style.
Mm-hmm.
Like legitimately, it's so intense. It's like the most intense sports anime I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
Yeah, like really drives home. Like a lot of your sports athletes, top pros are literally egotists, and that's kind of like the thing you want if you want to be able to break the trend of like your country always losing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
True that.
Yeah. And then there's I don't know if I should say this, like My Hero Academia season 6 part 2.
Oh yeah.
This part alone is just gonna be like, guys, I don't care if you read it in the manga, watch it in the anime. It's literally just gonna be tear jerks all around.
Oh dear.
Nothing but sadness, depression, epic vigilante justice.
Yeah, the epic vigilante justice without the feels.
And everyone like now being like a whole like a Dark Knight or like Superman era from Zack Snyder mood of like, we hate the heroes, you people destroyed a lot of stuff, you guys failed to protect us, all that jazz.
Oh wow. Yeah. Is there more like rooting for anti-heroes or so?
Oh, more of like, everyone arm yourselves with weapons. Self-defense is mandatory. Self-defense is what you could trust. You can't trust these people. They didn't save your butts. Like, that way.
Ah.
Yeah, it's super depressing. Yeah, so yeah, I guess aside from like that, we just have like a new isekai that's called like I need to earn 800,000 gold pieces so I can live peacefully in retirement for the rest of my life.
Okay, what is with these titles? What is with these isekai titles? What is going on?
And here's the joke.
It's because most isekais it's because most isekais are sort of spin-offs of light novels. in Japan, so they have like by the sort of genre have very long titles. That's how you can usually tell if it's a started from a manga or if it started from a light novel.
Mhm.
And yeah, most isekai start as light novels, so they have very absurd titles.
Yeah.
It was like
And
the first time I heard it, and now I'm hearing it so much. I'm like, guys, this isn't funny anymore. This is getting silly.
and you want to know what's even the best part about this isekai?
What's that?
The main character, who is a girl, is actually able to go back to the human world constantly.
That's the first. Usually when there's an isekai, they're like, I'm in here forever until I find these people, get this thing, do this thing, do a little dance, make a little love, get down at night, and then I go back to my own world.
No, but this one is just like, I have the ability to transport myself to anywhere between my world and this isekai world as an instant transmission, as long as you know the location.
Wow.
And then she also gets language translation, which means she's able to understand everyone in the isekai world. But she uses it in the human world as well in order to learn about Americans so she can get a firearm from them. Just so she can bring the gun to the isekai world to protect herself. That is how crazy she is.
Nice poke at America for one thing. Kudos. That's clever. Nice poke at America. I approve. Because that's exactly what would happen. Nice poke. I love it. That's so nice. Anybody who gets upset about that, I'm like, no. Like, no, you have no right to be upset. We brought this on ourselves.
We made this a right. We made this a Second Amendment for a reason.
Exactly. We brought this on ourselves. You're just gonna have to take the punch. You're gonna have to take the punch because we brought it on ourselves. We brought it on ourselves, our grandparents brought it on ourselves, our parents brought it on themselves, and so forth, and so forth, and so forth. We brought it on ourselves, so you can't be mad when someone literally takes a shot. But
Okay, and then now, I hope you're ready for this.
Oh, here it is.
Tokyo Revenger comes back for season 2.
I heard about that.
Oh my god. And it has like a theme song for the second season that I can't stop humming.
Oh, nice.
Like, I find it better than the first opening by a landslide.
Oh, wow.
Like, it's so great, emotional, and like heartbreaking at the same time. It's like, man, this tragic time traveler story is really gonna hit you in the feels here with every new character they introduce and how distorted they become. Like, season 2 already starts out with this guy, with the main character coming back to like a different timeline and finding out that he's the reason this time that like why his past girlfriend dies.
Oh, wow.
Like he becomes like a ruthless gangster. Like, it's not even funny. Like how evil everyone gets in the future if he can't change the past. So yeah, like, I just can't handle it. I just can't handle all this emotional stuff because it's getting me to get interested about the new characters now. And it's like, I thought you wouldn't be effective, but the character writing is still there. You're still hitting guns. You're still hitting bullets. You're still hitting all the checkpoints here. You're making us care for these characters.
How
And
dare
this is why you succeed if they actually die in the past or they die in the future. Like, because stuff like that really does hurt, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I know one thing I'm looking forward to in 2023 is I'm looking forward to the Super Mario movie coming out because I want to see it.
Oh god, like, even if it's Illumination, it's like that movie's kind of already have like Jack Black in it.
I know it.
We're gonna have to watch it. We're gonna have to watch it regardless.
That's the
All
only.
right, wait. Let's hold on to things we're looking forward to until main topic. Because Mario and stuff like that is definitely going to be brought up in mine too.
Yeah. Like, let's get back to like the last bit of the new the old stuff that we were watching. Like
Go right ahead.
There's like one more new anime that I think we should talk about, and that is called Tales of Outcasts, which is about like a little girl who basically can see demons
Uh-huh.
and basically gets into a contract with a demon to be able to be freed from like her poor lifestyle. But it costs her her eyesight and such to be able to finally be able to like move around and not be like threatened under a horrible priest or by a horrible child torturer anymore.
Hmm.
And it looks like to be a series of like, oh, there's a bunch of other humans who contracted with demons. It doesn't look like to be a battle like shonen or anything like that, but seems to be taking things a lot more like peaceful or a bit more politically.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm kind of like interested to see where it's gonna go because we already shown like the main character's like older brother is basically working in some sort of Ascariad organization
Uh-huh.
bent on hunting demons, and she nearly was like in the crosshairs of her demon and her older brother duking it out against each other, all for their reasons and such.
Mm.
Yeah. Like it seems very like interesting, like because the older brother wasn't there, like she ended up having to contract with a demon, so now he has to try to like protect her, like shield her from like a bit from like the order members of the organizations learning about her
Oh, that's
involvement with demons.
interesting.
Yeah. And I guess the last thing we could mention is like the first episode of the 11 episode epilogue for Ash Ketchum's journey in the Pokemon anime has finally started.
Oh yeah.
We finally got episode 1 out, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even know if it's gonna be dubbed or not. That's the thing. Are they just gonna put it under Ultimate Journeys, or are you just gonna say, "Hey, this is just gonna be Pokemon Chronicles again"?
Who knows?
Yeah, but like, yeah, the first episode's already out, and we already get a fan favorite legendary Pokemon interacting with Ash already.
Cool.
You want to take a guess who it is, depending on Ash Ketchum's history in movies and such?
Is it Mewtwo?
No, that already happened in Journeys.
Okay. Is it Gyarados?
Gyarados is not a legendary.
I thought he was. Okay.
No.
Never mind. You is it Mew?
No, that was Go's. That was Go's desire,
Oh,
and that was in Journeys.
you okay? You got me. I have no idea if there are any other legendary Pokemon other than those.
Remember Pokemon Heroes?
No.
It's the 5th Pokemon movie, and it starred the 2 Aeon duo, that being Latios and Latias.
Not familiar.
It's those jet plane bird dragons from Hoenn, the blue and the red one.
Oh yeah.
Well, Ash meets up with Latias, the red one,
Mm-hmm.
who is kind of infamously known for in the Pokemon community for being one of the rare times that Pokemon has shown interest in a human, and that being Ash.
Like interested in like it was like, yeah, you could be my trainer.
No, as in giving him a goodbye kiss at the end of the movie in a human disguise.
Oh boy, and oh boy.
Yeah, that's how infamous it is for Latias.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Let the fan let the
Yes.
let the
Yeah.
fan
So
art, let the fan art commence.
the fan art has already happened. It's
Of
been
course.
20 years. It's been 20 years of this.
You know, it's been happening. It's been born. It's grown up, and now it's heading off to college.
No, it's already been at college for 2 years. At
And
that
now
age.
it's legal to drink, and it's legal to drink.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So it's perfect. It's perfect. It's just like, yeah, like Latias is shown to be like a hard to resist like Pokemon that does not want to be like taken care of or anything like that. We see Team Rocket shenanigans again, which I don't know if it might be the last time because God, I don't know what's going to be the future of the anime if we don't have Team Rocket anymore.
Got a point there.
Like seriously, people are more sad by the loss of Team Rocket than anything.
Well, hey, those bumbling idiots like found their way into our hearts, you know?
Yep. And then
Jake.
And then Ash is shown to be rotating his Pokemon in this epilogue. So we get to see a collection of Donphan with Pikachu, with Grovyle and Noivern and Weasel.
Oh, wow.
God, the fact that we have the Hoenn, one of Ash's most reliable Pokemon from Sinnoh, the runt of the Gen 6 team, and then Donphan, the guy who helped carry Battle Frontier.
Oh, wow.
And who was also Ash's first baby Pokemon.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah, like it's really great to see the rotating Pokemon. And then the next week's episode, this is going to be a doozy. We're going to have a competition episode between Ash and Misty. Doesn't that remind you of a little something that happened in Johto? You know, about a certain Pokemon that both of them wanted, and now that conflict is happening again, but this time it's a Clauncher. And it looks like Ash is bringing along with him in this journey his Totodile, which was that Pokemon that is Misty and him fought for back in Johto. And then Oshawott. Yeah. No, not Oshawott. Sorry, my mistake. Corfish. It was actually Corfish from Hoenn. Cofish.
Okay, cool.
Corfish. So yeah, this is all just gonna be like super hype, and it's like, oh man, an actual rivalry episode again with these two. Like this is just gonna be a dang good one.
Ooh, and all the nostalgia.
All the nostalgia, indeed.
They're gonna build the nostalgia and build, and when it's time, you'll be like just like crying on the floor in the fetal position.
All right.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say, for me, I've not been up just sort of going between stuff, mostly just family stuff, because we got just part of the gap. I like this between this podcast and the last podcast, we had Christmas and New Year, so I was just dealing with stuff then. But media wise, I've been let me see, I finally finished Beast Tamer, which is a very, like I said, nice, cute series. And also, like I already I seen Puss in Boots Christmas Day, which again, fantastic film. You should all see it. And then I'm also starting to try to get into Cyberpunk, which is like, it's a gorgeous game on PS5 now with the updates and all that. And I'm trying to get into it, but at the same time, it's also finding the time for this is sort of a little hard, because like that's the one thing with like the big open world RPG things. It's like you really have to allow yourself to get immersed in that, which is like, it's sort of hard to, like, as an adult, to sort of allot like at least 3 hours stretch of time to sort of get into a thing.
Right.
But I am liking what I've played so far.
Cool. And it's already been like updated and everything, right?
Yeah, they updated heck out of it. It still has glitches, like I told you about some of the glitches.
Yeah.
Let me see. But yeah, so getting up that seems to be good. Just sort of have to get used to being sucked into a large open world thing. And the other thing is, like, I haven't played it yet, but another game I'm considering getting probably today or two soon is like finally biting the bullet on Scarlet or Violet.
Mm-hmm.
Carlos, I'd like your opinion on it. Which one do you think I should? I'm leaning more towards Scarlet for most of the things.
Honestly, I think Scarlet would be the better game, because I don't like the aesthetics of Violet's certain Pokemon, while Scarlet is like play Jurassic
Oh wait, no,
Park.
right. Actually, I meant Violet's the one I was leaning for.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna tell you, just go to Scarlet, play Jurassic Park. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't dig the future vibes of Violet.
My main issue is like, though, like I like some of the more exclusive ones more on Scarlet, and also I hate the freaking, like, the way your like Pokemon, like the legendary moves and like the Scarlet version. Like he has wheels that don't use. It's like, oh, if it was just running without the wheels look, I would like, you know what? I would actually prefer that. The non-functional wheels though with that design just like bothers me from like
Uh,
a
uh,
very
uh,
deep level.
you know those are flotation sacks, right?
Still, like they're supposed to be wheels. Why don't they work? Uh,
Those wheels are just a flotation sack, which then became wheels in its modern form.
Huh?
yeah, but like I said, I'm debating. Like they both seem to be good. I'm just slightly leaning more towards Violet right now, just because. Like I also like the Mega Man, like that one Pokemon. It's like the Mega Man version. It has different versions for
Well,
Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah, that's for Scarlet. That's for Scarlet, the Mega Man one. If you want to be mega busting instead of
Mhm.
sword slashing.
But yeah, like so, yeah, I'm probably gonna bite the bullet on that scene. I'm still debating because it's weird. Like I said, I do love the aesthetic of that one, the legendary Moor of Scarlet. I do like that aesthetic a lot more. Um, yeah, so like I said, I'm still undecided. I'm not even
Yeah.
playing it. I'm playing it soon. I'm just going to get it soon because there's like a decent sale on Amazon, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I know like because it's not going to be. I think they're going to update it again. They're going to push like a major update like next month.
Yeah,
So
just to make it like not as glitchy. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, that's on my horizon. But other things I've been doing like anime wise is I've been uh some series I'm watching as they're being released dubbed is Reincarnated as a Sword. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Too soon for me to say like I do like this show, but like it's sort of only a few episodes in, so I don't know if it's like, oh, this is a great isekai or just a good isekai. Um, so still sort of figuring that out. Uh, and then also I'm getting more caught up. Well, is it wrong to pick up a girls in Dungeon season 4? Um,
The dumbest
which
title ever.
uh, yeah, because that series like I forget how good it is, the mainline series, and like it really is good. Yeah, so yeah, I'm just watching those right now. I'm probably gonna pick up another. I was actually looking through the list I actually added to my watch list, the one about the one isekai you mentioned, Carlos. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
which I also noticed when I was looking at it, yeah, there's not a lot of dub series this time on Crunchyroll, which is sort of concerning. Um,
Yeah.
Mostly because because compared to what Funimation used to do, they used to like dub like 10, 15 series a season. And like there's like I see right now on Crunchyroll like 5 dubs in this season. Like that needs to be higher. I'm paying for the both services, so yeah. Yeah, anyway, yeah, that's what I've been up to, catching up on some anime. Probably going to catch up some more. Um so yeah, well, I guess we move on to the quick let's go over news. Gosh, we've been recording over 30 minutes already. Um let's see. The main two there's sort of 3 news stories to go over. Um Let me actually pull up support for one. One, I'm going to go with the quicker one, just to sort of go over it. It's more of my interest in theme park stuff. But yeah, just I think last week, yeah, we're on Sunday now. So last week, Universal announced that they're going to be opening a smaller theme park in Texas, basically right around Dallas. Um, we don't know much about it. We have a concept art, but it's sort of going to be, they say it's aimed at younger kids and families. So
Okay.
I expect it to sort of be like a Legoland sort of thing, instead of more like a Legoland than Universal Studios Florida.
Right.
So smaller, like more family, but like part of a resort sort of thing. So it's interesting to see how that goes because that's a more bold move, and it's like it's not in Dallas, but it's in Dallas's metro. Um, Public gallery. There's also rumors that they're buying a. So I'm trying to pull up the one photos for our next story. Um, they're about to buy a theme park in Spain, Port Aventura, which, considering all of us aren't probably the most international travelers, you probably never heard of or been to. But it's one of the largest theme parks in Europe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it has like Port Aventura, and it's like sort of a complex. They also have like a mini park, which is the Ferrari World. Like the whole resort complex draws like before pandemic times, like in 2019, drawed like over 6 million people.
Wow.
So yeah, and it's not so weird just because Universal actually used to have like stock in them. They actually licensed some of their stuff, which is like why Port Adventure, even though Universal left, they like sort of kept the Woody Woodpecker as their mascot.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's rumors that they might buy that, so there might be a DreamWorks in Spain, like probably before the end of the year, like buying it. So yeah, those big Universal news, and and also Disney sort of announced it's like if you're at one of our like $500 a night plus hotels, you don't have to pay for parking anymore because they were making people do that.
You don't have to pay for parking?
Yes, they right around when pandemic started, they made it like if you're in one of their hotels, you park your car there, you have to pay like $20 a night for parking. Yeah, people did not like that.
Makes sense.
You can understand this is one of the reasons that Bob Chapek was sort of tossed rather openly out of this company.
I can imagine the public like toss your manager out, or we'll crucify you or something, or we'll just not go and you'll lose all your money.
All right, here I found a thing. Yeah, but the thing is like it's purely about aesthetics because these are Disney resort things.
Yeah.
So people like the contemporary, that one has like the monorail going through it.
Right.
Like that's like a $900 a night hotel.
Oh my God.
You can insert that $20 parking. You just have to like state it.
Oh my God.
So it's like it's like a very Chapek move where like there's just not a good marketing behind their moves. So yeah, it was a stupid thing. But yeah, moving on from that to the other news stories, which I brought up the Jenn before. But yeah, the new Scooby-Doo spinoff / reboot series Velma is not doing well at all. Both critically and fan response has been extremely negative.
I don't even want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. I don't want to see it.
I saw the preview again after what you had talked to me about before, Ninja, and then I watched it. I was like, oh, this is what he's talking about. I get it now.
But I just found like a meme like I seen on Facebook. I saved just for this. This was like, it says like it's like a picture of IMDb thing. It says the king has been dethroned. Dragon Ball Evolution IMDb rating 2.6. Velma the TV show IMDb rating 1.7.
Whoa! So it's dethroned Dragon Ball, the live action Dragon Ball?
Yeah.
Evolution
is the live action one.
Oh my gosh. Wow. I didn't think anything could get any worse than that one other than Freddy Got Fingered or Birdemic, but wow. I'm shocked. And the fact that you got a Hollywood hotshot on there, Mindy Kaling playing Velma. That's wow. I guess that means just because you got an A-lister doesn't, and you've got a sense of that doesn't immediately install wokeness, nor does it mean that you're messing with a long cherished franchise trying to make a main character out of one of them. Doesn't mean it's gonna fly well. But as you said, I remember Ninja, you were saying they're screwing with their personalities, and I saw the preview and I was like, oh my gosh, he's right. They're really messing them up.
Yeah, I think one response says like if you're just going to create like a new series and just have it coded as like Scooby-Doo and Velma, why don't you just create a new series?
I'm just looking at this and it's like apparently it's already been greenlit for a second season. Like I was looking at Twitter. This is like I was already depressed by cancellations of shows I loved in Netflix, such as, Inside Job,
Oh yeah, I've
Dead
heard that,
End,
which I was
Paranormal
confused.
Park.
I was confused by that because I said like, oh, where it's not renewed for season 2. It's like, but isn't there a season 2? And I was like, no, that's technically just part 2. Netflix continues to be very weird with how they label shit. But yeah, I hate that. I sort of understand why Inside Job went because it seems like a very niche, nerdy show. But it's a great show, and like of the like sort of live adult animated shows like that, I would say it's the best. Like this Inside Job was so much better than like that one Simpsons show. I forget what's it called. Enchanted.
Disenchanted? Was it called
Disenchanted. That's it.
Disenchanted?
Yeah, Inside Job was so much better than that. It's sad that Disenchanted got continued and this doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then so yeah, Velma is like crashing and burning. I wouldn't say it's beyond cancellation yet because like there's a lot of shows that are renewed and that got canceled, like Inside Job we just mentioned.
Yeah.
And then the current thing with Warner Brothers is there's a lot of shakeups right now after the Discovery merger. Like a lot of things have been canceled. On the plus side, that we have our new person in charge of DC, which is going to be I got what's his name from Suicide Squad and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Hold on. Zack Snyder?
No.
Rob?
What is Snyder?
Oh shoot! Oh no. Joss Whedon? No.
Joss.
Is it? No way.
No. Let's Google Guardians of the Galaxy.
I'm blanking on it. I've been blanking so much lately.
Guardians of the Galaxy director James Gunn.
James Gunn, that's it.
Yeah, but yeah, the plus side is he's the one now put in charge of like DC, which is slightly concerning to know how dark he gets. But at the same time, like he can do less dark things as shown with Guardians of the Galaxy. And he said, I think he said, there's quotes of him like, the inspiration he wants to do for the DC cinematic universe is he wants to be heavily inspired by the DC animated universe, like Justice League and all that. It's like, if that's what he's going for inspiration, do it.
That's genuine applause. That's genuine applause, right? That's not like the slow clap, is it?
Oh, but no, like it's like serious. Like if he can basically just make a live action version of like what the Justice League TV show was,
okay,
that would be so amazing. That show, in retrospect, that show was so good for its time. But yeah, moving on to the other final news for the thing, which is sort of the whole turbulent chaos that's going on in D&D, not because of the changing of the monster race stuff this time, but instead the general license, what's it called? Let's see. Let's Google D&D and it'll be the first thing that pops up. Okay, D&D and news. OGL, original game license. This is basically how D&D allowed other people to use D&D inspiration like stat stuff and all that to make D&D spin-off or original products based off D&D.
Okay.
So they have a very loose license. Well, they attempted to undo that.
Mm-hmm.
Say like if you use our stuff to make your own stuff, well, we own copy. We are going to expect royalties or have the right to claim royalties, and this was not very well received and very publicly shamed. So they are, on a good news side, is they are walking it back. Or seemingly, we'll wait and see if they fully walk it back. It's like, oh, we're going to push this license. Oh, we're going to update and tweak OGL. So yeah, we'll see if they actually walk it back or if they're just trying to wait for the flames to die down and sort of like squeaky push it through. Unfortunately, Carlos is muted right now and probably away from the mic, and he.
I'm here. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you're the D&D expert on this, the OGL stuff that was going on.
Yeah. So, this is basically saying like who wants to buy the rights for like D&D is like wanting to monopolize and get the money and resources for like everyone's creativity, everyone's inventiveness and such. That's basically what that means, and so many people have an issue with that very clearly because of everyone's creativity is their own right and their own means of profit.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, because like the idea of Critical Role and other D&D inspired YouTubers and channels and all that jazz, like everyone's created like a living for themselves because of it, you know?
Pretty much the whole channel of Geek and is the channel of Geek and Sundry is still up and running. Is it or is it?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so.
Because I'm in the midst of cannonballing Critical Role, and I have been for the past couple, maybe 3 months, and I'm still on campaign 1. I remember I'm in the midst of campaign 1, episode 78. So, and I'm like, well, maybe there are 2 other campaigns and other different offshoots. I'm like, oh, I'm like, my entertainment is going to be set for the next few years, maybe. Who knows? But I didn't know if Geek and Sundry was like still around or so, because like I said, I'm watching, I guess on the channel. I didn't know if it was still around, should still be, but I didn't know if it was still like functional today. Because everything that I'm watching is like 4, 5, 6 years old.
Gotcha. I just feel like right now people like Wizards of the Coast or Hasbro are just gonna be like scarily have to wait to see like if they're gonna have the community enjoy it or not about like the rules once the document fully comes out, because everyone is just gonna study it fully and not leave anything to chance.
Pretty much.
They're not gonna let themselves be manipulated or abused.
No.
But yeah, I guess that sort of covers the news. I would say there's be more to discuss with the D&D thing, but since it's basically they walking it back, it sort of like cancels a lot of the speculation part of that. So I guess we move on to the main subject, which is the New Year's.
Yes.
So yeah, 2022 has ended and 2023 has began, which brings up, I guess, the discussion. Well, first off, let's discuss how 2022 treated us. Does anyone want to go first? Like, there's a quick reflection on 2022 for you.
Carlos, you go first.
All right, so let's see. 2022 began with Turning Red, then like the whole thing with like bad guys being like, "Whoop, Disney and DreamWorks are at it again, making that pretty good hype movies and not making me bored to tears and such." Really appreciating that stuff. 2022 then was continuing on with like me trying to like get into like a different deck like later on in the middle of the year. Birthday pass, celebrate like my father's 75th birthday. Let's see. Just trying to getting through vaccinations. So of yeah for COVID and such. Yeah, that's definitely another milestone there. And just all in all, watching a lot of good media. Like let's see. Aside from like the current highlight of Puss in Boots, let's see. Was there anything else like very much remarkable that I watched really? And the answer to that was, why am I not coming up with anything? Like, seriously, like it should have been like something else. I definitely remember like there's a lot more hypeness for something else. But I think I'll pass the baton to you while I think of it. Like, that's how well a 22 treated me right now.
Okay. Who's next?
I can go, or if you want to go first, it's up to you.
I'll go first. I'll go next. 2022 treated me, let's see. I wouldn't say horrible, but I would say the best. The only thing I can say about it is, well, it wasn't 2020. That's one thing I could say about it. Other than that, there wasn't anything too crazy or so. Other than, I guess, the best part of it was getting to record Elements of Justice with the cast. That's a fun thing. We just recently had our highest view count for episode 2.8, and it's really shocking to see how many the viewer count was. So it was so cool and humbling to see this little project get the traction it is that it's doing in the jobs in the real world. It's just one more indications of me. It was like, Jen, you need a real job, but all that fun stuff. But as for media consumed, of course, Turning Red in the beginning, absolutely amazing. Love Turning Red. Later on, saw Bullet Train in the theaters. So much fun. Need to see it. Later on there, I've now determined I now have a favorite Christmas movie, Violent Night. And I'm like, now, ladies and gentlemen, this is now my new favorite Christmas movie of all time. I cannot, and I have not been, when I was in the theaters, I was seeing it with my mom, and my mom's like, that's so violent, and I'm like, yeah. So, and I've never been, and at the end of it, I was like, sequel. I haven't felt that way about a movie since the first Deadpool came out. Other than that, turned a year older, had a wonderful time with my family and some dear friends I hadn't seen in over a decade. So had fun times doing that. Let's see. Other than that, that's all I can think of. I'm just ready to, just like wash away 2022 and just let's see if 2023 can be better, But again, it ain't 2020.
This is true. We've been on a broccoli upward arc until then.
Again.
What's up?
It is a new year. The second opinion has appeared. Woo!
Booyah!
Hey, what an entrance.
Forever and ever. Let's make this last forever and ever. Or let's not, because I think I'm keeping my wife awake. I'm going to change rooms here.
Hi, Day.
So that she has a job interview tomorrow.
Yes,
Good luck.
Everybody says good luck.
good luck. You're going to kill it.
Yeah.
No problem.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what I miss?
We just basically we're into the main subject right now. We just went through what we went up to like the previous weeks, and then the news stories, which was like quick recap of the news stories. One is Universal is like opening a theme park in Texas. It's going to be smaller and more kid focused, so more Legoland and less Universal Studios. Two is the Velma series is crashing and burning in spectacular fashion. As I highlighted it has a lower IMDb rating than Dragon Ball Evolution right now. And then 3 is we briefly went over the D&D OGL licensing debacle and how it's being sort of walked back. And now we've gone into what we've been up to, like our reflection of 2022, our brief reflection of the year.
Oh, I have one more addendum. This was the first one thing that was amazing about 2022 is the first time in a long time there was actually a white Christmas in Ohio.
Here too.
And it was all because of a flash freeze. And apparently all of a sudden it went from like, at one point we had a really warm day to all of a sudden just plunged into like polar vortex flash freeze thing. And then before we know, we had actual snow on the ground, icy roads. And it was bad enough for me not to do my yearly trip to see my family in Kentucky. So had to actually stay in Ohio for the first time in forever, I think. But other than that, first white Christmas in the last I remember was 2007. But I'm probably missing something. But yeah, first white Christmas in a long time. Now I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool, Jen.
It is.
Oh, and hey, second.
Except when the roads are so bad that there's like wrecks everywhere and people getting stranded. And people getting stranded in their cars for over 12 hours and sometimes even dying because they couldn't get out.
Yeah, I think that was more in Cleveland area than around here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Cleveland, like there was a big wreck in Cleveland that really screwed a lot, like messed it up. But yeah, it wasn't for. I think most of the listeners here probably endured it, but
yeah.
It wasn't that there was a lot of snow for this. It was just that there was it was so Arctic cold and like wind chill was in the negative 30s that this the roads really couldn't be treated well because the salt or newer stuff that's not salt solution it was too cold for it to work. So they could plow it slightly, but they couldn't really get rid of the snow on the road. And there's also, since it was so cold, there was very big frostburn concerns and busting pipes.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly one of the two coldest winters I remember in my lifetime. The other one being the one right after Snowpocalypse, or Snowmageddon, we call it around here. I think there's a term for what the next one was too, where the wind chill was well into the double digits below zero. But yeah, I just went with Coldpocalypse because my imagination is apparently hurting there.
And guys, I just remember what I forgot one big highlight of 2022. The successful conclusion of Mob Psycho 100 as an anime series. Yep. Out of everything, anime related, even with Bleach's return and all that, nothing can compare to the fact that Mob Psycho 100 has proven itself to be a cornerstone of Japanese culture and a lot of people's new gateway now, because it's literally just as good as Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood for me.
Hey.
That's how good Mob Psycho 100 is to me.
And if it's up there with Brotherhood, that's impressive.
It literally is. It feels very concise. It knows what it's doing. It takes itself very seriously with an outlandish premise like this compared to its contemporaries. It really is a hallmark, remarkable series with such a deceptive first impression that makes you think otherwise.
Oh wow, very cool.
Okay.
Yeah, 2022. Season 3 literally lives up to be a very fantastic ending for Mob Psycho as a whole.
Nice.
Here. That's like that.
Nice.
Let's see. Steelers turned a corner with a new team in 2022. There was that. And one that ended up, after finding their footing, not completely sucking. So, really, rando things in the news. There's that. Heavyweight boxing found a new champion and has its next potential, probably not fight of the century, because these two guys don't exactly have styles that match up like it would produce fireworks, but nonetheless a there can only be one match is potentially in the very near future.
Ooh, sounds cool.
Well, kind of, sort of. Is it going to be one of the biggest heavyweight champions ever who, has been quoted as saying that he does not think that he is fair for being that big and being able to move like he can? Or is it going to be the potential greatest of all time from the weight class below who bumped up and won the belt that the other guy didn't have because why not?
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. The only thing is, it's like, okay, a big speedster against a smaller, more speedster. Like, what kind of match do you even imagine there?
Yeah, got me on that one.
But whatever. It's very likely that they're going to have there can only be one match soon.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, especially since, like, we never hear about heavyweight boxing in the media anymore, like, more so recently, and there has not been there can only be one champion in about 20 years, I think over 20 years, because Mike Tyson did not win the Mike Tyson era. His childhood friend, who both their mentors predicted would meet him one day in the ring for there can only be one match, did in the worst possible way. It turned out that the reason that their destiny was not, they're both maybe, but not certainly the best in the world. It was Mike. The other guy, grew up every bit as well as Mike did poorly.
Oh.
So after all the ear biting and legal trouble and uncouthness, Mike showed up and tried for like one round and got destroyed. And then the other guy, Mr. Chessmaster, kind of boring, talks also like somebody you'd think would be a chessmaster if chessmasters were Canadian, British, and possibly something else in there and whatnot, but you get the idea. Nobody cared when he won. They all just kind of went away. And so did champions that people actually cared about for a while.
Right.
At one point we had 4. There were, who's the champion of the entire right now? The entire world. Oh, there's 4 of them. Who's the best one?
Take your pick.
So why are they all the champion? Because money said no. We want this guy to be our champion.
Because money said no.
Money said no to what?
Like, what do you think money? I think Floyd Money Mayweather.
All right. The thing you have to know about, like, who's the champion of the world, for a while there was one, and then, like, organizations popped up around it, like, okay, we're sponsoring this, so this is our champion, and then they split, and then the possibility of 2 different people each having one came up, and then there were more splits, and then one decided, hey, I'm going to be my own one, and nobody cared, but then the real champion won that one too, so they had to care, and then, I think it's technically possible for there to be 5 right now, but like I said, 2 guys finally have all of them between the 2 of them, and are prone to fight each other, like, after Mike Tyson's childhood friend went away, 2 brothers, like, split all the belts among themselves, and just, they were like these huge Ukrainian guys who just kind of beat everyone up without, I don't know, it was like watching people get crushed by glaciers. There was just no challenge there. Well, why don't you 2 fight each other? Oh, our mom made us promise not to.
Well, you can't go against that, now can you?
Yep. So we haven't had there can only be one match for a while.
Makes sense. Good thinking, Mom. Good thinking.
Boy, and instead they, like, the rare occasions where either one of them did lose, the other one went and got the guy back.
Nice. Now that's a bro for you.
There you go, yeah.
That's a bro for you.
But it would seem I have to move again because I think I'm being too loud. Oh, wait. No, never mind.
Or maybe I was talking too loud. If so, sorry.
Oh, you're in headphones, so
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I am the only voice that can be heard in this house. So, what else? We had some interesting Twitter drama. Okay, like I think, yeah, I mean, if we have to hash it out some more, we have to hash it out some more. But I mean, has it been set in stone that firing himself with a random poll on his Twitter page was the last straw? Elon does not and never did know what he was doing.
The whole Twitter thing, I was like, I don't get anything that is going on here.
Yeah, the thing is, though, people need to realize what that poll was like. Yeah, even if he did agree to it and like sort of step down from the head of Twitter, he still owns the company and decides whatever any major decisions. Do people
No, I mean,
not
that's true.
realize?
Like it's not going to like fundamentally change, and in fact, he might even reinstate himself. Like, yeah. Oh well, my last guy didn't do a good job, so I'm back. Did you miss me? But like, I don't know, Elon. Like, the fact that he's like making decisions this haphazardly, the guy has long before he was 2022, Elon Musk has been called, yeah, a drama queen and an attention hound and a weirdo in slightly disturbing ways long before he was the richest man in the world. And this is like the 10th time he's made good on that.
Wow. Yeah.
I can say one thing: he has made Twitter more interesting than it's been in a while.
Boy, if it got any more interesting, I think I'd throw up.
It's not the interest, I'm sure.
Right.
It's not the interest we were talking about with Twitter, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Twitter has been the center of so much drama and, puke and, I don't know if I think I could do with a little less interesting.
Well, I think the issue with Twitter as fundamentally is like, at least how it's structured, like hopefully with these tweaks will make it a little better, but Twitter is more than a lot of the other social medias. It's a very echo chamber forming by its nature. So it basically can create very, very radical communities within it.
Yeah.
Well, that's like, did the cart come before the ponies or what's it? Because I mean, like, there is also just like the argument that what it's done is given people a chance to put up flags like, hey, all the people who are in this radical what's not and whatnot come here. Well, all the people who are in this one come here. Well, all the people who want to fight that one come here. Like, I mean, I don't know, a lot of what, like, I mean, everybody who's sick of living in unprecedented times, raise your hand. Good, everybody. But yeah, I guess a big part of the argument we're seeing here is like this normal we're imagining going back to might have never existed. What might have actually happened is that the proverbial bugs came out from under the rocks.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But
so it's not encouraging is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But as for me for 2022, 2022 was like an interesting year, like both good, like very highs and also lows. Because like that was the year that for like half the year I was under unemployment because I was laid off from my previous job, so applying to hundreds of different places and being rejected hundreds of different times. So that was like half of my year. Then, luckily, I knock on wood, am really enjoying the one I have right now. But yeah, so like half the year I was dealing with that, but the other like the highs of that were, I finally getting over my fear of roller coasters and just sort of getting into theme parks again.
Cool.
Which is why I keep bringing up theme park news randomly in this sort of media focused podcast. So like the Universal news and all that, because I'm sort of plugged into that now, and that actually goes into some of my plans for next year when we get to 2023. But overall, besides that, just dealing with the sort of stresses of that and some family drama stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like I say, 2022 was like my most adulting year, where it's just like dealing with stuff, fun stuff, and also bad stuff, and yeah, so more personal stuff that's both good and bad. I just don't feel right bringing up in a podcast, but yeah, there's highs and lows. It was a very fun, energetic year, but also sort of stressful. So yeah, a very adulting year for me.
I guess for me it was kind of a learning too. Like I got a new, more mentally healthful job. Healthy, I guess is the word I was looking for there. Boy, started getting into Tai Chi tournaments again. One that like pulled me out, like winded me so bad that before the big final match, the guy in charge kept saying like, you know what, just take an extra minute to sit down. I'd rather it be a good match than, you just pass out in the end.
Right.
And boy, managed to screw up a certificate, or at least it seems I might have managed to screw up a certification for teaching Tai Chi that I wanted to get by waiting too long and letting the very, very, very lousy certifiers who kept moving the goalposts in their online course and then seemed to have deleted the course altogether. Like, which I just been so in their face with that like, you will certify me already. Instead, I had to take time off to help Day, get her permanent residence card and everything. Just like feeling like, you know what, I feel like I've done enough work for one day, one too many times in a row. So, wish I'd found a way to not go that route in hindsight. Found it in me. But what's done is done. So now comes the getting in their face. Late, but hopefully not too late.
All right. With that said, I guess we move on to what are plans for this year and things we're looking forward to. 2023 is, well, I won't say on the horizon. We're in it already. Are any big upcoming plans for you or shows and stuff you're looking forward to?
I mean, I guess like for me, it's like trying to do a bit of like a reaction thing for like the last 11 episodes for Pokemon with Ash for me, and then also possibly like talking about like the upcoming show like on February 15th, like Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, because I literally was there when they did the comics back in the 2010s. So I can literally just be like, I was there in the beginning. I can watch it adapted. I can watch it be adapted into what looks like to be probably one of the most hypest Marvel things that has been done on TV in a long time. Like people are hyping it up like to the point of like saying like this might be just as good as Spectacular Spider-Man. Like if it actually is written well. With like how much energy is already done with the animation and such.
Which one is this?
A Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, or
okay,
yeah, like it's a new Disney Channel cartoon coming soon, like on February. Like basically imagine it as like let's see, basically think of it as like a smaller girl version of Spider-Man, but with Clifford the Big Red Dog. But instead of a dog, it's a dinosaur. That's literally the premise. It's pretty insane, like the whole dynamic duo thing with those two.
Interesting.
Yeah, because like Double Dinosaur has been like a long-term Marvel character in the days of Moon Boy and Double Dinosaurs in the 60s. So like when they decide to like reboot it to make it like Moon Girl and have it be a different character, would bring Double Dinosaur back from the past. Yeah, like no one really hears anything of Moon Boy ever again. And the main thing about Moon Girl, aka Lunella, is that she's supposed to be like the smartest character in Marvel history. That is the premise behind her character. Like smarter than Reed Richards or Tony Stark. Yeah. Yeah, which at the time people were just being like, really? This girl is supposed to be smarter than Mr. Fantastic? Like, really?
Which one?
Moon Girl, the like
Oh, still her.
yeah. Like I was just saying. It's
I mean, like, these things keep claiming that so many different characters are this smart or that smart. It feels so arbitrary. The leader, he's smart because gamma radiation did to his brain what it did to the Hulk's muscles. Yet apparently there are people who were just born smarter than him. Perfectly ordinary humans. Yeah, Dr. Doom was just born smarter than that.
Doom!
Yep.
Doom!
I am Doom!
He's he's a really nice guy. His name is Doom!
I've read, a couple of comics with Dr. Doom in them, and the one that comes to mind and that might have featured him the most is just one where he runs into the Hulk and he spends most of the comics duking it out with the Hulk just to prove that, he would not lose to the Hulk. And I don't know, that's most of the story, but I mean, apparently the movies keep getting his character wrong. Like, he's supposed to be much more charismatic and not completely wrong in what he sets about doing, even if, he just can't separate his own enormous ego from it. Honestly, but I saw Linkara review Doom 2099, where I think just the first couple panels already made me like Doom better than I did in all of the movies combined. Like, the premise is, the first thing that happens is he's just kind of dropped in this this apocalyptic future, and in his home country of Latvia, and he doesn't particularly know what he's doing there. He doesn't particularly remember what happened yesterday or 5 minutes ago or a week ago or whatnot, but he knows who he is. And then, one of the apocalyptic bots that's rounding up all the citizens and terrorizing, flies up to him and tells him, he's breaking protocol. And he's like, wait, what did you say to me? Do you know who I am? And he blows it up in one hand gesture. I am Doom. And then he waltzes right into his old lair and demands to know what this new dictator is doing there. And
it's fun. It's funny whenever Linkara reviews anything with Doom or Batman. It's so funny.
Yeah, but I mean, that is just right there, so much fun. A dictator has taken the world, or at very least his country, and Doom's response is to swagger into his lair excuse me, are you unclear on who the real ultimate life form is?
I am Doom!
Oh, yeah.
That's hilarious.
Mm-hmm. So yes, I kind of want to see Doom done right just from things like that.
I mean, seeing Doom done correctly in popular media, not just in the comics. Wait, didn't Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes did Doom correctly?
I didn't really watch that, even though I was told I should have. I'm still catching up. Well, actually, I just finished catching up on my Netflix Marvel shows.
All right.
Jessica Jones season 3, and I'm all caught up. As in, I just finished that, and now I'm all caught up.
Congrats on catching up on all the Netflix shows, which were really good. except for the first installment of Iron Fist. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, like, I thought Iron Fist season 2 was fine. Like, I know it ended up getting the glass ceiling put at, like, well, no, it's better season 2, but it's not good enough. And I mean, I don't know if that's just like they still had season 1 fresh in their mind, or that was just like a chips fall where they may kind of thing. One of those, like, yeah, okay productions that, yeah, could genuinely be wrong end of okay, or just could have just so happened to have the people who could vote come out on wrong end of okay, whatever. But yeah, I thought it was fine. It was short on. Ranking wise, I'd say Daredevil in first, despite of it's pretty slow and maybe even a little bit worse than it's already not great reputation in my mind, despite that season 2. Despite that, yeah, I think Daredevil was the best one, and then Luke Cage, and then maybe just the Defenders season where they all team up. I mean, people poo-poo that for not having enough substance. I thought it was just so much fun, honestly, so take that.
It is fun. It is fun. Yeah.
That's the idea. It's fun.
Like, and then Jessica Jones versus Punisher is hard, because, like, Jessica Jones has so many compelling elements, but I mean, it's like, it's not hot garbage, but I mean, it might be just a little bit of a hot mess, because it, like, goes in so many, nihilistic, like, circle back to Stark directions that I felt like it didn't need to go in sometimes. Like, I'm like, Jessica, I mean, of course I'm gonna keep watching you. You've got your hooks in me so darn deep, but gosh, you make it hard sometimes. Like, and then Punisher, meanwhile, is like surprisingly digestible. It's probably the least edgelord Punisher I think I've ever seen, despite being at least as gory as any of them, and maybe more so at that.
I mean, Frank over here, I mean, he started out in season 2, then got his own show, which frankly helped humanize him enough for me to say, hey, that's Frank Castle over there. Like, you don't just call him Punisher, dude.
Yeah, I mean, like, they, like, all the other movies and stuff just wanted to dig into the, like, that's right, Snowflakes, he thinks he should kill the bad guy. And look what they did to him. Look at him, them shooting his family and his grandma and his wife. Look at them driving down his son as he tries to run for cover. Like, I mean, I don't know.
What is the benefit of that anyway? What is the benefit of that anyway?
Because it's so awesome. Hardcore.
I'm a revenge lover or anything, but even with that premise of the Punisher, I was like, hey, I'm kind of put off by it.
Yeah, so, like, the fact that, I mean, yeah, I was fully prepared to be like, okay, yeah, I appreciate that you guys are trying harder to make the philosophy stick, but I'm still like, no, you're trying to condone the uncondonable, and then, like, instead they open by bending over backwards to emphasize his charisma and his humanity. I'm like, boy, and I mean, the one philosophy moment they have is just him on the roof arguing with Daredevil about it, and swapping Daredevil in for Spider-Man, who was originally the moral opposite he was paired with. So it's like, instead of Spider-Man's like, humbly self-righteous, if that makes sense, like, teenager responsibility, it's Daredevil's like religious no compromises convictions. So they're like, just like preaching their hearts out at each other to, like,
there's a point
the emotional limit that they can break themselves, and I'm like, okay, fine, I'm into this.
There's a point there where it gets where it's like,
this is the reason why we respect Daredevil season 2. It made Punisher into an actual person, and many people.
It's so true, and I mean, like, I'm sure the best comics have done that too. I mean, Daylover would know better than me. She was a Punisher gal. I was a Hulk guy, and a little bit of a Batman guy.
Gotcha.
But yeah, like, I just all through the show they emphasize, and they don't even, honestly, even compared to Daredevil season 2, they don't really emphasize the choice to kill the bad guys that much. It's almost like that he's just on a battlefield of sorts, like he really did never come home from the war, where it's just like, yeah, it's, I mean, I don't know, maybe if you microscoped it, it wouldn't hold up, but it's just like, what do you mean, do you handle it that way or not? That's what you do. There is no, yeah, that's winning, not doing it is losing. That's how this works.
There's some things I can sympathize with the Punisher about. There's some things I can, but I don't know.
For these seasons for finding it.
Yeah, they're just some things. I don't know. And it goes back and forth, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. On the other hand, like season 1 throwing its hat into the gun debate, like,
oh boy,
yeah, bad idea already. And I mean, what, like, at the time might have seemed cute or even like arbitrarily two-sided, just like after the last few years of like twisting that knife in ish. I mean, what feels like as deep as it could go, and I'm sure I'm about to be proven wrong there, but yeah, now it feels downright asinine, some of the like the swagger it tries to put on that, but otherwise I thought the Punisher was good. And sadly I have to agree that Iron Fist is in last despite my tentative standing up for it.
I know. I mean, I don't put down a lot of stuff too often, but when I do, there is a reason for it.
Yeah, and you know what
motivated me.
Well, you know where I think, like, I mean, I like skimmed through an episode or two of season 1 and was like, yeah, it seems like I would agree with the criticism enough to not even want to risk it. But season 2, like, in addition to being perfectly like acceptable, yeah, even fun, where I thought it could have been more than that is in that guy, that brother of the brother-sister pair that Iron Fist came home to. Like he's like he's put on the clothes of a nihilist businessman, but like he's genuinely trying to be more than that. He's like, because what he actually is an abuse victim who recognizes that he's not psychologically 100% and like wants to be a better person and really does care about loyalty and goodness towards his friends and family. Where like, okay, that genuinely had me feeling for him, maybe even more than like anyone else's journey. Like, okay, yeah, Davos, he wants the Iron Fist so he can make his mom proud and wahaha, and Danny wants it so he can purpose and, well, wait, no, and Colleen, will she step back into the teacher role? That was okay, but I mean, like, okay, I care about the guy who's trying to be a better person even when it hurts. And yeah, the fact that like the show even kind of lets him be gaslit by his sister to an extent, who's like, I mean, might also be a victim on some level. I forget if like they if they gave her anything that's like, okay, that checks out, she has a right to be a little bit angry, but mainly it seemed like they just kind of let her gaslight him in an attempt to make it kind of two-sided. And I'm like, all right, no, like you shouldn't be he shouldn't have to like eat this. Oh no, some of your attempts to be a better person, sorry, no points there. Yeah, it felt like they tapered off into lukewarm with him at points where they should have gone up to 11.
Take it up to 11.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, it felt like, for lack of a better term, comic book movie rules, where like someone can be an honestly bad person, but they have they call it an insert reason here where they're sympathetic, or they do an insert redemption act there, so you have to agree that they are. And I don't know, I felt like it made it feel less real and less compelling and more lukewarmly comic booky. So as is, but I mean, in spite of all that, I would be up for Iron Fist coming back. I felt like he had decent chemistry with Luke Cage. I felt like the directions they were starting to find had potential, and I felt like it was already at the point where it was fun. Like, okay, I'm having fun with this, so show me what else you got.
All right, but I guess back to 2023 plans and what we're looking forward to. Any other media? I know one thing we've already mentioned early on is, a lot of us are looking forward to that Super Mario movie.
I was saying that I'm looking forward to seeing it because I want to see what only because Jack Black as Bowser. That's the reason. And honestly, I think, and second, Key as Toad.
Shit. Like, I'm weirded out by why so many people seem to want this to be bad. Like Jack Black, it seems like he's doing a perfectly solid Bowser, but everybody just like, Jack Black. He's not even doing a stereotypical Jack Black Bowser, but everybody acts like he is anyway.
No,
no one's really complaining about Jack Black as Bowser. The issue a lot of people are complaining is Chris Pratt is as Mario, which is like, there's two debates, sort of criticisms. One is another Chris Pratt animated film is like, is Chris Pratt has an voice everything. Then there's the complaint that okay, you're having someone who's clearly not Italian voicing Mario is the other complaint.
Yeah. I'm so curious about it because, for one, the graphics look great, and Jack Black is as Bowser and Key as Toad, and I guess number 3 is seeing, okay, the whole thing that people are up in arms about is Peach is wearing pants, Princess Peach is wearing pants, and she's got an axe.
Well, there have been comics where she's been in on the action before. I feel like, you almost have to have her wear the dress at points because it's the iconic look, but there are different outfits and such. If she wants to, I don't know, be in on the action, I don't see what's wrong with that.
I agree. And you know what? Honestly, I can understand the need for pants. I can understand the need for pants in a fight, but sometimes part of me would love to see a big old fight done in a ball gown. Just for sheer, I guess, comedy, just for sheer creativity and comedy. And I don't know, I just have something in my brain about this beautiful dress, this ball gown. What if it got messed up in a bar fight brawl?
Yeah, could be fun. And I feel like we're only just starting to learn, as in we haven't really learned this yet, that okay, just because you're trying to counter an archetype does not mean there's no such thing as overly overcorrecting, that leaning too far away from it, because then you're not just saying the toxic or negative part of the archetype is bad, you're saying that everything about that someone cannot be anything like this, even in the trivial sense, and still be positive.
Right.
What we don't, I think people have pointed out that the world has been allergic to female action stars who have too many feminine personality traits.
At the same time,
to the point where they're all just their only trait is strong. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no. I interrupted you. My bad. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just saying that the too long don't read version is making a person's only trait strong and masculine does not equal perfect. Perfectly cutting out the toxic.
Right. There are cases and a lot of female characters are still getting kind of shortchanged and not quite developed, and or it's they're written under, quote, the male gaze, in which they really, quote, their feminine wiles and everything. The quote unquote femme fatale, and I feel like it's a 50-50. There's fun in the femme fatale, but then when it gets just overly done, then it starts to get kind of silly. there are those that they're kind, especially with the quote a strong female character. When you have a strong female character, sometimes you make them unlikable. I disagree. There could be some. It depends on what's unlikable to that person. There are strong ones that are absolutely amazing, and then there are those who are not, but I guess can be amazing in their own ways.
Yeah, well, I mean, like a tough or a mean character is not a good character. A good character is a good character. Like,
right.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like what we get wrong a lot of the time is that it's not the direction that was bad. It was the lazily leaning on it that was bad, or like lazily leaning on it to the point where you've made everybody this, bad carbon copy of a carbon copy.
Unless that was your intention, and you're making a video that's like a comedy or a parody or something, then bets are off. Go ahead.
Self-awareness is a different flavor, different can of worms. But I mean, well, I mean, we're on the subject of female characters, so mean ones can be good characters, cruel ones can be good characters, tough ones can be good characters, right. But that you have to be doing it because you have a vision of a character in mind, not like literally for its own sake, so that you're just spamming traits and tossing them at the camera.
Yeah, and also you can't. But at the same time, you don't want to make a Mary Sue.
Yeah, well, that's like I'm starting to straight up have beef with the nice good characters or bad characters thing, because I mean, like, that one has been done to us so many times that like I feel like we've gone through a whole wave of it going through the other way, and it still refuses to die off all the way. Like, I mean, the fact that good guy heroes were not the problem in the first place. All these Mary Sues, all these square jawed heroic heroes, and no, the problem wasn't that they were fundamentally good people. It was that you were spamming a handful of cardboard cutout traits and throwing them at the camera.
Yeah, pretty much.
But that they weren't interesting anymore. We'd seen them before. They no longer denoted people you could relate to. They denoted archetypes.
Right. Yeah. Nailed it. Then it starts becoming, and then there's so much about like quote representation these days. Now they want to throw a character in just because they want the representation points.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I have so many mixed feelings about that, because I mean, it's like, especially after being forced to work a night shift with rednecks for 4 years, who, talk like it's that it's simultaneously both still the 1970s and a stunningly toxic version that I hope didn't exist across the board. But people perceptions don't really change just because you kind of wait for them to fall in line with updated knowledge. They just don't. You kind of have to kick down the door a little bit and be like, look, you're looking at this like a jackass. We need, this is what the world looks like. This is how, the models that we should be following and encouraging. But I mean, on the other hand, then you get your quote unquote woke Disney movies that are so obviously trying to cash in on a formula. Right. Okay, we do our favorite classics ever again, and it is in new animation that's not animation or whatever form, so totally not the same thing, and also because we are fixing something wrong with them. They have, I mean, I won't act like they've never hit the ball. I won't they've never hit any singles or even a couple of doubles. I'm not as down on the Disney live action remakes as some people are, but I mean, by and large, they are transparently not artistic about what they're doing and not sincere.
Mm-hmm.
They are, again, cheap spammers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's I think the issue with like that Disney's been thrown criticism a lot. It's like not that they're embracing diversity and all that. It's that they're just using it to get like Twitter brownie points and like to gain like just pop like just sort of like, oh, aren't we like what's the word I'm looking for? Aren't we progressive and all that? But they're not. It's just sort of too.
That's the funny thing. Like, so many animation platforms, so many companies have not only passed them, but lapped them on the representation front.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to, like, cut you off there. Do you see if that's what I did?
No. I was just saying that's like an issue. That's just sort of like, that's sort of, I feel like the issue with like, I think we're bringing up like Velma, how it's crashing and burning is like, it changed a lot. Like it race bended like both Shaggy and Velma, and it also like all their personalities are changed to sort of be more flawed. And yeah, it's like this seems like they didn't really do it for a reason besides just sort of like progress. Like, oh, it's like, but it's just. I think I brought this up, Jen, when I was just talking last time before. Like, there's a difference between like having like we were talking about LGBT representation and all that, like, long job, but like there's a difference between like naturally integrating it into the thing and then just trying to get shock or like brownie points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I mean, well, as much as I hate comparing this to an example from like 20 years ago when stuff like this was seen more as just like cute novelty, like, yeah. Oh yeah, you did a representation thing. Isn't that so great from you? Because we have, we don't actually have to share with. It was breadcrumbs, is what I'm saying. But yeah, like look at how they did John Jones as the Green Lantern instead of Hal Jordan for Justice League. Like, just right away they just wanted to establish nothing except John Jones, the character, when it was his turn to be on screen. I think he had like the 4th episode about how he, in an attempt to apprehend somebody stealing something, gets his ring beam deflected onto a planet and ends up causing the death of what he thinks is billions of people. And just like it's all about the deep sense of responsibility he feels, and how he takes his job as seriously as he takes the failure of it. And when it turns out at the end that that the whole thing was an optical illusion played on him as I'm sure if I saw it again, somewhat convoluted scheme to fake the Green Lantern elders out of their power. Then he gets right to work setting it straight, like he's despite thinking that he was going to die and deserved to for the for this action. And then he's leading the charge against these guys to bring them in, and like when it seems like everybody's gotten there too late, and the main whatever bad guy has absorbed all the Green Lantern power, and the elders like all is lost, he steps up and he breaks out the Green Lantern oath to absorb the guy himself into his ring. And then it, like, I don't know, it probably not much to hear me describe it, but it's flippin' awesome. Like, I don't know, how do you make that Green Lantern oath that says evil at least twice in 2 lines awesome? Apparently you have Jon Stewart say it. It's like they were clearly excited to show this guy's like steadiness and resolve and his cop-like persona and his how he processes trauma and grief and concern and all that. And I mean, like, Disney, they had Emma Watson invent a smart girl washing machine thing because feminism. They had her.
A live action Beauty and the Beast?
They
Right.
had her say, "Oh, but I'm going to escape because I am more feminist than Paige O'Hara." Like it. I mean, it plays like I don't. I'm not going to say that there because it's really not my place to say whether there was anything to correct with Paige O'Hara, but like Disney is clearly signaling for attention with some of this. Like it's almost structured in a way where it feels like somebody wrote the same line up to a point and then took a scalpel and like cut that part of the page out and glued something else on there. Plays like it was written by Disney's lawyer, in fact.
I know Disney did something. Did you see that live action that live show Beauty and the Beast thing they did with Josh Groban and her?
I did not, in fact.
It's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good. It's got her, it's Josh Groban, Martin Short. I love Martin Short.
I like Martin Short, yeah.
Love Martin Short. And Shania Twain. We also got David Alan Grier, and I forgot the gentleman who plays Gaston in this. I cannot pronounce his name for the life of me. He is a big, burly African gentleman. Face again. I'm wondering if he was in the Black Panther movies. I could be wrong, but either way, it's actually pretty good.
Okay, what was I gonna? Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, Disney, like Beauty and the Beast, like I didn't even mind that one that much in live action, despite the that is merely guilty of tackiness, so here and there, like that is nowhere near Disney's greatest crime in the.
I think that was one of the better received ones was Beauty and the Beast and The Lion King, which I think, from what I understand, the big crimes against those are like they're just basically more or less shot for shots of the originals.
Right.
But The Lion King was one of the better received ones.
Yeah, like air quotes.
I thought it got nailed like to the floor. I know Disney, like Beauty and the Beast, like it took a couple of dings in an otherwise basically successful reception for being a little too similar, but Lion King, I thought it got nailed to the floor for being like note for note.
In some cases, yeah. In some cases, yes, but in some cases the performances being either not like the animation or just too much difference or just too different from it. The biggest thing is if you are doing CGI of live animals, you're not going to see emotion from animation. You're not going to see the emotion. I mean, you're not going to see the terror in Mufasa's eyes as he falls in the cliff. You're not going to see the terror in Simba's eyes as he yells out, "No!" as it happens. You're not going to see it.
Yeah, it did not split the difference well between trying to be lifelike and trying to convey emotion.
Yeah, it just looked like a cat just meowing at the screen. There's no emotion. There's no terror. There's no nothing. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, but we have Beyonce as Nala. Hey.
But I said I use better air quotes. I mean, like, they're generally well received by a broad audience, but they're not critically and like fan well received. It's like, okay, this is good. I mean, they're doing better than other ones like Pinocchio or what's Cinderella one, which is just by all counts
I thought Cinderella got some acclaim.
I'm not sure about that one. I know Mulan. Mulan was kind of like.
Oh yeah, I forgot Mulan also.
Yeah, Mulan.
Yeah, Mulan?
Yeah, the live action Mulan.
I mean, Mulan kind of got like. Mulan has an interesting like similar point from which it diverges from Beauty and the Beast, where like critically they actually got a similar like it's not bad sort of like a 70 something on Rotten Tomatoes, but like fans did not come after Beauty and the Beast with torches and pitchforks, even as some of them sneered at it. They came after Mulan with torches and pitchforks.
Oh wait, the ones who did were the ones who were mad about the fact that there was a scene where Gaston and LeFou were dancing with each other.
Oh, people actually tried to go after that.
Yeah, and I was like, did you actually watch the animation? They did that in the animation. No, and they did that in the animation too. What are you mad about? What are you mad about?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, if anything to criticize that for, it's like, okay, Disney, like, yeah, ease up on the tooting your own horn there. You hinted that LeFou was gay a couple of times, and it was only confirmed because you confirmed it outside the movie. You strutting your reputation stuff there is really unearned.
Honestly,
Yeah.
if they're gonna be like, if they're gonna do it outside the movie, like, oh yeah, LeFou's gay, I'm like, all right, I'd be like, I gotta agree with you second. I mean, it's like, oh really? Now it really feels like you're baiting, you know. But unless I see it, like I see it here in the movie, I'm like, okay, there it is. But even if it's confirmed outwards, I'm like, now you're really reaching, you know. But at the same time, like, who? I remember watching it and I was like, when I watched it the animated one first time, did I ever think about LeFou being gay? I was like, I didn't care. I was like, who cares? Like,
yeah, well, I mean, like, they, you know, I can understand, like, all right, yeah, make your movies look like the world around it so people don't have to feel like they're, watch it, they're not invited to the party, quote unquote, which, is, like I said, rednecks for 4 years, it's more of a problem than you realize sometimes, but,
I hear you.
but, like, yeah, LeFou at Disney, well, it seemed like in the Beauty and the Beast, yeah, they were just going for, to the extent that they even wanted to represent, they were going for a different character from the original LeFou, because, like, yeah, you're not supposed to care what he is. You're not supposed to care about him being anything but Gaston's doofy sidekick. His name actually means the fool. But
you're not really supposed to, you know. And he was positioned to be that character, to be that character like that. Nobody really cared about him. Like all of a sudden, you're making an ant out of a molehill, or
well, I mean, like I said, like,
sorry.
Go ahead, sorry.
Especially the ones that want to go after Disney because of promoting agenda, because they show two guys dancing with each other. I'm like, that happened.
Well, they can throw a tantrum about anything these days. Anti-woke.
That happened in the actual animated movie, and it was labeled as a joke, and it's comedy. It's a comedic device in the song that they're singing. You know, the whole song's about is Gaston pretty much praising himself and how himself and they're in a bar, they're drunk. They're in a bar, they're drunk. Things happen. They're talking with each other. What's the problem? I couldn't help but just laugh at it. Like, really? Really? This is what you want to go after? This is hilarious.
Well, it seems nothing's good. Like, I took the time to read a Get Woke, Go Broke article once, and it was the equivalent of the middle school kid who throws a bunch of punches with his eyes closed and thinks he's going to win because they're as hard as he can. Like, okay, let's see. The movies it went after. Some of the obvious picks, you had to get Wonder Woman 1984 in there, and bend over backwards to try to differentiate it from the first one. Like, well, she was kind in the first one. Like, finish Joe like kind. Yeah, that's why I'm not going after that. But yeah, let's see. Get Woke, Go Broke targets. The new Mortal Kombat. Was apparently so woke. James Bond.
Really?
No Time to Die. Yeah.
Really?
And like, okay, that movie made coming up on 800 million during the pandemic, but that was because it was the kind of movie that just had no prayer in hell to recover its budget during the pandemic. Like, it needed to make even a little more than that to be like, okay, that was even some profit for our time. They decided to try to squeeze that in there too, as he went woke in that one, so he went broke.
And how in the world? And do I even want to know what he did to warrant that?
Oh, it was, I don't know, something about his replacement being black or whatnot. Like,
Really?
It was desperate as hell. The Mortal Kombat one is the fact that they didn't have Johnny Cage in it. The creators were like, yeah, we wanted a more muted protagonist, so it could be like, yeah, more the Wonderland unfolding around him. So we invented Cole Young here, but instead, like, they went on and on and on about how that was reputation.
How?
Like, when your argument is buzzwords, you reverse engineer any narrative you have to fit the buzzword.
Maybe they were given assignment. Here's your word count. Here's what you gotta use. Here's your buzzwords, and then you'll get paid.
That seems like about the size of it.
Oy vey.
All right, but back to the present, or sort of going in future. Any specific 2023 plans y'all looking for?
Let's see. Well, I already told you about the going after my not class certificate place with a torch and a pitchfork and like possibly a lawyer. But yeah, should that one not result in me getting a certificate and instead in a protracted fight for my money back, I might try to go in a different direction with the Tai Chi, just like take a breath in, breath out, and see if I can teach that elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm in a weird position where like I have my money making job and I want to do something on the side, like explore what I just kind of like to do. But the problem is I have 3 routes that I could go, and I don't think I could do them all with a meaningful time commitment. Yeah, one is the Tai Chi, one is getting back into making my own videos good and proper. I finally rescued the ones I had prepared from my old crashed laptop, but I might need to, even if I want to release those, they might need a coat of polish. But or third option, I've actually started answering my extended boxing spiel from a half hour ago or however long it was. That whole thing. Well, okay. I've started answering like questions on Quora about boxing history and stuff, because I mean I've probably made it clear that I've spent a weirdly obsessive amount of time learning about it just kind of for fun, and so far it's going pretty well. Like, even that, just like when I have a little time here or a little time there to spare, just kind of doing it for fun. I mean, some of the things I write like have attracted thousands and thousands of views. So and to the point where Quora has offered me to monetize my content. So I'm like, should I try to get into that more? Should I try to double down on that?
Good night.
I suppose, but yeah, like if I were going to get serious about it again, that would probably take real time, real energy, and
There's gonna be something to think about.
Yeah, up in the air whether I could do 2 of those things. Probably couldn't do all 3. So there we are.
What about you, Ninja?
Like this year, I'm just sort of doing a lot of travel and stuff. Hopefully, like I said, this job continues on well and all that, so I don't really have future job plans to sort of continuing that. But then I do want to actually start doing some video projects again, and probably tweak this channel again also, just because to get back to video products stuff.
Nice.
Yeah. But in terms of fun things to look forward to, let me see. There's a few movies. I said I already mentioned Mario. A big thing I'm just doing is doing a lot of travel, a lot of mini vacations, going to like not smaller, but theme parks that are more outside area, like going to Cedar Point, going to Carowinds, King's Dominion,
Nice.
Also going to like the Knott's Berry Farm, which is like right outside Disneyland.
Ah.
I mean, it's like the same city, sub-city of like Orange County.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's sort of like it's the park that inspired a lot of Disneyland stuff. Like
Mhm.
they have their log flume that inspired Splash Mountain was actually from Knott's.
Oh wow.
And like Disney got like the things like the sky hidden. A lot of the ideas they get like borrowed from there, like the hidden queues for like rides where like you don't really see how long the line is to get in line, sort of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because as the name implies, Knott's Berry Farm started as a berry farm, which actually I'm going during their not the boysenberry festival, so I get to hopefully try some boysenberries and see what it's all about, which is apparently a mix of raspberry and blackberry and 2 other berries.
Huh. Sounds fun.
Big debate. Yeah, the big debate I'm doing is if I should try to spend a lot of extra money during one of my days there and go to Universal Studios Hollywood just to sort of try out Super Mario World there,
Mhm.
which opens up next month.
Nice.
But yeah, just doing a lot of mini trips instead of one big vacation. Another one on top that's not theme park related is, which I'll be able to plan out more tomorrow because they're making official announcements, is TrotCon again. Which all we have now is a date. We'll figure out the more details tomorrow. Because all they've been selling so far is like the pre-registration for like the higher badge stuff.
Mhm.
She's like, yeah, I'm not going to spend $200 for like a sponsor badge. It's like, no, just get the regular ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say what I was looking forward to next year? Because I gotta actually. I just realized I just ran over, so I've gotta wrap up for myself.
Fortunately we never got around to showing you the Puss in the Boots opener, but
we'll have to do it next time. But
yeah, I'll have to do it. Yeah, the next podcast recording has a sort of warm up thing.
Yeah, one thing that I will say what I'm looking forward to, and then I've actually got to run because I just realized I just ran over my limit. So
yeah, like it went from 30 minutes recording to 2 hours rather quick. That's why I was trying to hurry up and get. So yeah, hurry.
Okay. Let's see. What I'm looking forward to in 2023 is for one. Oh, excuse me. One thing that I want to do in 2023 is like be more. Like document everything that happens in the months, so that way when the end of it happens, when the end of 23, I can be like, okay, I did this, because 2022 seems like a blur. So, but at the end of it, I'm like, okay, I did this, and then I can say, did I have a good year? But I know I have plenty of goals and everything. And one, I want to take care of all my financial stuff. If I can, that'd be the biggest thing. That would be the biggest adulting goal for me, to take care of all my financial woes and such, but also to find a good steady job that would also help, but also to make my voice acting a little bit more than a hobby. I mean, it's just in the beginning stages, but be more disciplined about it. I'm definitely going to do this. I'm going to do more auditions this year, and if I get another awesome part, why not? You were talking about TrotCon. Ninja. Hopefully, this is really cool. There's a chance. I'm hoping that this happens. There's a chance that some members of the Elements of Justice cast and crew may be going to some cons this year. And one of them mentioned is there's an interest in TrotCon.
When is TrotCon this year?
TrotCon is like I think it's July 3rd through 7th. I think.
Yeah, first sort of like weekend of July.
Yes.
That's the only info we really have as of now.
What?
I said that's sort of the only info we have now. they're announcing the stuff tomorrow. So yeah, like I'll post the link once I do it, so in the group chat, so everyone can sort of get up to date if you're interested. But what I'm finding interesting is like they mentioned like they're going to post about the details about the hotel and venue. So
Yes.
I wonder if they're actually changing locations.
Interesting.
Yeah, which would be very interesting because they've been doing this one for a while. So
yeah, agreed.
Potential DC React group reunites in TrotCon.
There's also DC 24-bit reactions reunited TrotCon, but also potentially maybe I might be considered a community guest.
Ooh.
Only because of elements of justice, and we recently because of elements of justice, and we recently had like our most viewed was case 228, and just finished recording my part for episode 29, which is that final episode of case 2. If anyone wants to check it out, go ahead. If you want to see some amazing stories, because kudos, I always say this, and I'm gonna say kudos to like the writers and animators of this. It's amazing. So we're hoping 2.9 is going to drop sometime this year, and it's going to blow everybody's socks off. And we're hopefully, who knows, maybe some certain conventions will ask for certain members of the production. Who knows? You never know. I'm hoping this could also be my return to a convention, to con going. There's a rumor in my group that we all want to go to. We're trying to go to Gen Con, and I'm not sure if that will happen or not. So I'm hoping most of this year maybe could be my return to conventions. Who knows?
I would say, like I said, if you do want to try to get as community guests, from what I understand, like of TrotCon is, I don't think they'll necessarily invite you as like a main.
Oh
no!
No.
So like the opening ceremony stuff.
Oh no!
But I feel
it is bad. I don't mean that. No.
But I feel it is very possible to get a panel, especially if you have other voice actors or creators from that show.
Oh,
From that, if you have like 2 or 3 of them show up, like you could easily get a panel there.
It's nothing. Nothing's really like set in stone. This was just something of in the message thing that I was just sharing and everything, and it seemed exciting. And it just seemed exciting, Who knows? Like I said, nothing's set in stone. It's just a possibility. Like, again, who knows? I'd be happy to just go to TrotCon as a con goer. I mean,
well, like I said, like if you want to just like host a panel focused on that, yeah, I very strongly believe you could probably get that hosted. Maybe not in the biggest room there, but like
it will be me hosting it. That's for sure.
I don't know. I was saying just if you can get like 2 or 3 other people just to sort of have a group representation of that that show, then yeah, I feel you probably could get a panel space.
Maybe.
Again, I'll probably learn more details tomorrow, but like it's
yeah.
Yeah, I believe that is very possible.
Who knows? It's
I guess
possibility.
Have a good night.
Yep, gotta go. Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
2 things that could stop me coming to a July con this year. 1, if my yearly tight sheet tournament in Florida is done, and 2, although this one is much, much likely that we'd try to cram that in around the same time, our one traveling trip this year, like extended trip, is going to be going back to Denmark to see Day's family. So we got to probably squeeze that in sometime in the summer. But otherwise, that would be really cool if we all got to do another con.
Yep.
First one since BronyCon, right?
Not for me, because I've gone to the past 2 TrotCons. The winter one that was sort of
where
like
we all unite.
Yeah, as we all get together, yeah. Except for Carlos.
True. So it's never happened with every one of us.
No.
And it might never, because how in touch with Herd are we? Herd of Bronies.
Not much right now. I feel we could contact him and get him for like a meetup. But I don't know if he's still doing brony stuff and all that.
Yeah, I mean, if we
To
were
be
Dragon
fair,
Ball Z abridged, Herd would be Tien. Can anybody get a read on that guy?
Nope. That's how we like our TNs. Like, give respect to the OG tournament rival.
Yeah. But like, yeah, I guess that's true too. It was the first one introduced as like a an enemy opponent who could actually beat Goku.
Yeah, that's really the sad thing. Imagine if Tien actually built himself up to be the strongest human fighter who fought decently up until like a Namek and then drop off afterwards. But
Yeah.
instead, or even better yet, maybe instead of him falling off there after he came back, he got himself strong enough to actually deal some damage instead of Piccolo, like against 17. And that could have caused a rivalry there. That could have been what would have happened to Tien, but nope.
Round and round it goes. I mean, for what it's worth, like they kept Krillin more in the spotlight than him as the 98% pure comic relief, just because Krillin was like a more beloved character, or at least he had the more integral friendship with Goku and all that. But yeah, Tien, even though like that and the fact that Tien was the strongest human, uh, got wiped to the side as well. Fans are like, well, like, we don't care about Tien anymore. Can't we just say Krillin is the strongest human because reasons? Like, in spite all of that, Tien did get what I guess you could kind of consider the human's last stand in the show. But like, because yeah, up until the Android saga, they're still training, still trying to have an effect on what's going on, and then the last meaningful attempt in the entire franchise up until Super, like, kind of tried to derp-de-dur its way into making them relevant again. But yeah, the last attempt was Tien holding Cell down with his tri-beam, which he almost straight up saves the day there. He would have if Krillin hadn't had the hots for Android 18.
Romance. Getting in the way of absolutely human survival.
Mm-hmm. Weirdly, Dragon Ball Z Abridged did a better job justifying that.
But Carlos, do you have any plans for the this year? Not really upcoming anymore.
It's like, I mean, not really thinking about like
or things you're looking forward to and all that.
I mean, maybe like Spring Fest for like a Vanguard coming up, like a Memorial Day over in Newark. Like, I'm gonna try to see if I could be able to build, see if like if my deck might be able to be build up enough, because it just recently got unrestricted. The whole Inlet Pulse Dragon and Magnolia Elder strategy, so that broken strat is back, so I can be able to play it efficiently. Because I literally invested a lot of money into Inlet Pulse Dragons, which is currently right now at $40 for each copy of the card. Yeah, that card is super expensive if you did not get it early enough before.
Yeah, I just spent a couple $100 on new Magic cards because despite trying to be a king of the budget decks, I ended up trying to go for a commander who's no cheap date, known as Keurig, son of Yawgmoth.
Gotcha. I guess aside from that, don't really have like a convention to go to. Like, I don't know of any nearby this year.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really unfortunate.
Where is TrotCon?
Columbus.
Okay. That would certainly be a bit of a drive if you tried to do it that way.
No driver's license or anything of the sort.
Mm-hmm. Well, too bad we're not more popular. We could have one of those sponsored Gators trip to BronyCon.
Why are you saying BronyCon?
TrotCon. I don't know. All these cons blur together in my mind at this point.
Not for me. I mean, like, Like I remember the good old days when there was New York Brony conventions, and now that day is no longer.
Mm-hmm. Shame. We're in hibernation right now. Who knows if we'll ever come out? This fandom of ours.
I mean, like there's not really much hype in this stuff going on for like a Gen 5, really. Like when we were trying to watch this stuff, so I don't really see much of a resurgence for like big cons like that again.
Yeah, Gen 5 has, with the possible exception of the first movie, it's been lukewarm and it's been received as such.
Yeah.
Shame.
A true shame.
But that
Like I
aside,
say, I was looking at train stuff. Like an option possibly is, I think you might be able to catch a train there,
oh, that could be cool.
Carlos. I think I was looking out. Don't know if there's one Amtrak to Columbus, but like there is some to Cincinnati, and like you could just ride up with me or Jen probably. In that case, and then just get back for the train ride home, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. We should talk more about that, definitely.
I mean,
down the road.
I still would need like quite a big assistance because that is still like a kind of like a big input. Like not really in a financial state to even try to save up right now.
Talk about that later. See how much it costs. See what help can be given.
And see what exactly TROCON is this year. Like I said, we find out info out tomorrow. But I guess I feel also needs to be mentioned, like some movies to look forward to. We've already mentioned Mario, but also into the new Spider-Verse movies coming out this year. Then dueling in December, we have the Avatar 3 and Sonic dueling in December. Actually, I guess they're both Sonic 3 and Avatar 3. Battle of the CGI animated live action.
Avatar 3 and Sonic 3. Wait, they're actually going to try to duke it out with each other?
Oh, because they're releasing, I think, either the same day or like same week or something like that.
Wait. Sonic movie 3 and what other movie?
Avatar.
I mean, you'd think it would be pointedly beneficial not to do so for both parties.
I mean, seriously, we're talking about like Shadow's appearance and then OG Avatar coming back. That's gonna be that's like putting the cartoon fandom against the video game fandom.
Wait, you said Avatar 3, right? As in the blue people one?
Wait, the blue people one? Oh, you mean then that's easy. That's easy. Sonic 3 just gets like a lot of like the normal geek fans, while Avatar 3 just gets like the normies.
I mean, like, I don't know, like being the second movie to go see seems to have worked out so like okay for Puss in Boots and for Megan, but I mean, I don't know, like, because Sonic can't compete with Avatar if it's hoping to make like big money. I know those movies were sort of like mid-level blockbusters insofar as how expensive they were and how much they aimed to make, but however that's affected, they're not going to be major ones if they try to compete with Avatar. And Avatar, it thrives on the empty space. I mean, like those things cost so much money. It's like, I think having a pretty empty field has benefited the second one so far. Like that's why it was always going to make a ton of money. But I mean, that's why it's almost definitely going to make so much that, full speed ahead for more. So I don't know. You would think that one of them would try to be like, okay, tentatively we'll be on the same schedule, see if the other one blinks first, and go from there.
Yeah, I think it is sort of like gambling. Like they're going for different demographics. So like Sonic is more for a younger family than Avatar older. And we'll also see if like one blinks, because honestly I feel Sonic 3 could probably benefit again from another Valentine's Day release. So I said we'll see. But yeah, I guess that's. Oh yeah, then I guess game wise, we have to talk. There's a whole bunch of stuff coming out this year. Things start like big runs coming up is see what's the word? Dead Space remakes coming out like this month, and like a few months there's going to be Resident Evil 4 remake. There's going to be I forget Square Enix live like not sort of like action game that's coming out, and then after that they're going to have Final Fantasy 16. Then there's going to be Starfield, which is the next big Bethesda game, which is sort of like supposed to be Skyrim in space. Then there's going to be lots of games coming out this year too. A lot of stuff we don't know. Oh yeah, then of course the next Breath of the Wild sequel. So yeah, a lot of media to look forward to, but it's getting a little late, I guess. Any other final thoughts for the new year?
Well, wish Day and I luck with getting her a new job. Seems like good signs so far, but yeah, the sooner she gets one, the sooner we get to move onwards and upwards with everything we have planned.
Yeah, best of luck to you and her, and because yeah, I know that struggle from last year.
Sure.
So yeah, good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Any other closing thoughts, Carlos? All right. But I guess
seems
that's
like
it.
he's closed. That's his thought.
Yeah. I guess see y'all next time, and maybe actually get back to the pony content like we were just talking about. All right. See y'all.